Shalom, Royal Family. The class you are about to hear is taught by the Honorable Yudhe Beit Nun Sophie Yudhe many years ago. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Visit us at www.yahweh144000.com. Also, Royal Family, you can enroll in classes designed for the Godhead at www.universityofyahweh.org. Enjoy.
Hallelujah. Kazak Ve'emas. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. What time is it? What makes up a nation? What makes up families? What if any of them are weak? What is our motto? What is our motto? We're all for one. We want for our brothers and sisters. What about Sue? Praise Yahweh. You shall know the truth. Praise Yahweh. You may be seated. Praise Yahweh. Yahweh is God. Yahweh said he was going to take us out of this country with a great substance. Turn to Genesis 15:14 and read about yourself. Not we would leave here with a whole lot of welfare food stamps. We are not supposed to have welfare and food stamp mentalities. Supposed to have a mind, a great substance mind. Great substance. We are rich. Read.
And also, that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterward shall they come out with great substance.
Give me a dictionary, young brother. Come to the mic and read great to me. We've never been rich before, so we don't know how to feel being rich. We don't know how to act being rich. See, our ever-open enemies, the white race, has brainwashed us all of our lives to think we are nothing. Our ever-open enemies, the white race, has brainwashed us all of our lives to accept the idea that we're nobody. Because of our ever-open enemies, the white race, we have walked around all of our lives saying, I can't. I can't. We can't. Because of the white man's brainwashing, we walked around all of our lives saying, I sure would like to be rich. And so many of us do things that cause us to land up in jail, trying to be rich as the white man has taught us rich is. Always in trouble. Always in trouble. If we knew from birth that we were Hebrew Israelites, Yahweh's chosen people, and that we have a land of our own forever, and understood that Revelations 2:9 was talking about you and me, we would have had a different concept of ourselves all of our lives. Instead of walking around with an inferiority attitude, an inferior attitude. Instead of trying to measure up the white people, we should have been trying to measure up the Yahweh. Matthew 5:48 said, be ye also perfect, as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. That's the measurement. That's the standard. Be like Yahweh. And Yahweh said, the cattle on 1,000 hills are mine. The earth and the fullness thereof. Well, as a children of Yahweh, then I'm happy to tell you that the cattle on 1,000 hills are mine and yours. And the fullness of the earth is ours. Everything you see belongs to you and me. We just let other people live on it. That's the only way they can live on it, is we let them live on it. The whole earth is ours. And if we don't want no nation to live on the earth, all nations would have to get off of it. Just have to leave the whole planet. I'm just going to advocate a few of them be left around so we can rule over them and tell them what they should have done. They should have treated us right all the time we were here. They never should have mistreated us. Now you'll just have to eat cheese all the rest of your life. Suck on rocks trying to get water the rest of your life. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord Yahweh. I don't have nothing else in my heart. I tell you of a surety that if all nations don't bow down and worship our Father and worship at our feet, they'll have to suck rocks for water. Oh, I can show you that in the Word now. How many know where that is? Zechariah 14, verse 18. Verse 18. Read.
And if the family of Egypt go not up and come not, that have no rain, there shall be the plague wherewith the Lord Yahweh will smite the heathen that come not up to keep the Feast of Tabernacles.
Read verse 17.
And it shall be that whoso will not come up of all the families of the earth unto Jerusalem to worship the King, the Lord Yahweh of hosts, even upon them shall be no rain.
You can't get water without rain. So they'll be sucking on rocks or something trying to get water. Die or come on and bow down. Yahweh is bad. He's not even going to let it rain on no nation unless they come and bow down before the King. They have to bow before us. But I will not let it be any other way. They'll definitely have to come and worship. Yahweh said he would not let it rain. If they don't come, he'll put a plague on them of no rain. Yahweh is bad. And you're going to try to convince me we're not rich. They have to bring us said no man can come empty. No man. So when they come, they got to bring an offering. You don't just come up to Jerusalem and don't bring us some gold and silver. You heathens. What's wrong with you heathens? Have you not learned the law yet? You don't come before the king empty-handed. You heathens. That's what Yahweh called them here. He called them the heathens. All right, my son, I have you standing there. Read great to me. We're back to Genesis 15:14. We are rich. Understand it well. Read.
Great. Extremely large.
An extremely large blessing.
Bulky. Big.
Who?
Bulky.
Bulky, all right.
Big.
Big substance.
Larger than others of the same kind.
Larger than it. That's the kind of people we are. Larger than others of the same kind. We are bigger and larger in every way. Our brain and our mind should be larger than others of the same kind. Read on.
Of considerable duration. Extensive in time or distance.
Extensive in time. Yes.
Remarkable.
Who?
Remarkable.
Remarkable.
Or outstanding.
Outstanding substance.
In magnitude, degree, or extent. Significant.
Significant. We are the most significant people with a significant amount of wealth. Yes.
Important.
Important? Praise Yahweh. All right, substance. Now remember these descriptions of this substance. All right.
The essential nature of anything, as considered apart from its form or attributes.
Now, we are going to leave America with our great essential nature intact. Remembering we are born with divine intelligence, superior power of mind. So we will leave with that well-groomed. Come on.
The primary or basic element that receives modifications.
We are the primary basic element of all civilization. We're the primary nation of the planet Earth. But having been reared under the devil, we need modifications. We need modification. Because we're doing the opposite of what we should do. We think of ourselves in opposite terms of what we really are. So we need modification. And we need a teacher to modify us. We need to be modernized and brought up to date in the law of Yahweh, not according to any nation standard on earth. Go ahead, son. We're going to be remarkably modified, extensively modified. All right.
Matter.
Who?
Matter.
All right.
Material or specified, especially complex constitution.
All right. We're going to have great material things coming out of America. You heard the word material. And that's beginning to happen in everybody's face. See, this is not only a material substance that will be made manifest upon us and through us, but our mentality and spirituality will be modified extensively and remarkably. Go ahead.
The essence of what is said or written.
The essence of what is said is written. We're going to leave with great substance. We will understand the essence of what is written through Yahweh's law. And if you study essence, you got a heavy going. We will leave with a remarkable essence and unusual comprehension of the laws of Yahweh and their application to make ourselves rich and successful and prosperous. Read on.
That which is solid or real.
We are real, and what we're studying is real. And the law is solid. It is also referred to in Psalm 19:7 as perfect. Read on.
Reality as opposed to appearance.
We are going to leave here knowing reality, knowing the reality of Yahweh, knowing the reality of ourselves, knowing and understanding the reality of our enemies, enabling us to protect ourselves from our enemies. See, our people, we in our dead state are unable to protect ourselves from our enemies because we don't know the reality of our enemies. We have been brainwashed to think that all people are the same. It's just a few bad crackers in the world. But really, everybody else is the same. We must understand the reality of our enemy to protect ourselves from the enemy. We must face these realities. To come out with great substance, we must come out with the great reality of what's really going on. We're really rich. Go on, son.
A solid or substantial quality or character.
Of what character? See, this is not only money. Substance is not only money. Our character must be reformed because we have terrible character following the white man. What kind of character does the white man give us? Liars, thieves, burglars. You learn how to marry a woman and divorce her in the first year or two. You learn how to live with each other and hate one another. That's what we learn. We learn how to be dishonest, untrustworthy. Who made us like this? White man. He was our teacher. We were not taught the laws of Yahweh from a child. We're just now coming into the knowledge that Yahweh exists and that he is our God and what he stands for. So we must leave America with great substance, great character. Not just money. Getting money is no problem. Yahweh's already giving us material things. We see that all over. So the material substance is not the big thing. Fort Knox is waiting on us. Our land is waiting on us. What do we need? Character. We have to be reformed, reborn, remade, renewed in the spirit of our mind. Where is that?
Beautiful 22.
Ephesians 4:23. Boy, I'm finding it hard to get where I want to go. I hope we're enjoying this. Would you believe 14? All right, let's start at 14. We need this lesson. This is what we need to understand the reality of. Read.
That we henceforth be no more children.
We've been children in our minds, like little children. A little child doesn't know what to believe. That's why the white man forced you to make your children come to his school, so he can brainwash your child to be like he wants him to be. So we, the Hebrew Israelites, say, no, we're not going to let you toss our children back and forth and make them immoral and ruin them like you did us. We're hip to you now. We're setting up our own school. We've already done it. Set up our own school to train our own children in righteousness. So we will come out of America with great substance, a great moral character. Instead of having no character, great character. So we're ordered to be henceforth no more as children. Read.
Tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine.
Every wind, every man come along blowing wind about this religion is it. This is the man to vote for. Our hope is in the vote. Then they told us the only power was green power. They lied again. We get green and have no power. I mean, I watch black men get $1 million and have no power. They call them nigger rich. You make a few dollars and you don't manufacture one automobile. Go give the cracker all your money to get one, and it rusts out like all the rest of them do. I don't care what you pay for it, it rusts out. Come on down here to Florida and you'll find out. You can pay $100,000 for a Rolls Royce, it's going to rust out like the rest of them rust. We don't have green power because we have no power in the mind. We're children in the mind. A child will give up everything he has for a sucker. It doesn't matter to him whether it's a quarter, 50 cents, or $1. He say, you want the sucker? Give me the $1. He wants the sucker, what will he give you? Then you call him a sucker. Here's sucker. Here's sucker, here's the sucker. Is that us? Yahweh said we're not to be like that. In his law, he changes this. And by what? By the sleight of men. What does sleight mean? Sneaky, tricky, cunning, clever tricks of the devil. White man. To trick us out of our little wealth. His game is to trick us out of our wealth and make us serve him. Read on.
By the sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive.
Do what? That's what's wrong with us. We are deceived. Read on.
But speaking the truth in love.
See, this is what we must come out of America with. Speaking what? In hatred. Well, what do we do as a people? We speak lies in hatred. Right or wrong? We speak lies as a people in hatred of one another. So we must come out of America speaking great truth with great love for one another. Read on.
May grow up into him in all things, which is the head, even as Christ, Yahweh ben Yahweh, from whom the whole body.
What is the whole body? Our whole nation. Right. Read on.
Fitly joined together and compacted by that which every joint supplieth.
Which we all supply one to another through our various abilities. We want to build a building. Those of us that can lay brick, plumb, do electrical work, carpenter, labor, whatever craft we have, we put it all together for the benefit of our nation. Read on.
According to the effectual working in the measure of every part, maketh increase.
It will increase the wealth of our nation, increase the character of our nation, increase the moral of our nation. Read on.
Of the body unto the edifying of itself in love.
Ah, I like that. Everything glorifies our love for each other because of our love for Yahweh. That's our motto. One God, one mind, one love, one action. Read on.
This I say, therefore, and testify in the Lord Yahweh, that ye henceforth walk not as other Gentiles walk, in the vanity of their mind, having the understanding darkened.
Whose understanding is darkened? And when we walk after white folk, what happens to our understanding? Darkened understanding. Well, read on.
Being alienated from the life of God Yahweh.
As long as we follow the Gentiles, we are alienated from Yahweh because they are already alienated from Yahweh. They teach a lie, call him, say he has many names. The Bible says he has one name. Read on.
Through the ignorance that is in them because of the blindness of their heart.
What does heart mean? So their mind is what? So what's wrong with our people? So when we leave America, we must leave America with our eyes wide open. Our eyes must be greatly opened. To leave with great substance, our eyes have to be greatly opened. Here in America, in our dead state, alienated from Yahweh, we are ignorant, unknowing. We must leave with great knowledge of Yahweh. That's great substance. See, great substance is not just money. For years now, you've been thinking Fort Knox only. Yes, you have. How many just been thinking Fort Knox when we read that scripture? We're leaving with Fort Knox. I didn't help your case too much either, did I? But now, isn't that all we thought about? We thought about gold and said, yeah, man, we're leaving with gold and silver. Haven't you figured out, I taught you for years, that if you leave with all the riches in the world and be a fool, the wise would have your money very soon? Fool and his money soon passed away. You haven't heard that? What good is it to leave with Fort Knox and you don't have any sense? You'll sell yourself for nothing again. If you're blind and ignorant, what good will the wealth do you? The white man is failing with all his rich. He has fallen apart with all his riches. Why? Because why has the white man fallen apart? He's blind, he's ignorant, his understanding is darkened, he's walking in the vanity of his own mind. Ignorance is in them, and they're alienated from Yahweh. That's why his kingdom is fallen. That's why America has gone to pot. That's why they have movies, they don't call it naked women, they call it pornography. And, they give all these big long words, Average ignorant kid can't even call that word. Pornography. In order to give up our ignorance, and in order for us to gain understanding, we must stop following the Gentile white people. That alone will give us great character, great eye-opening. We must leave America with our eyes fully open as to the nature of all of our enemies and the nature of our friend, Yahweh. Read on.
Who, being past feeling, have given themselves over unto lasciviousness.
Lasciviousness, what is that? Evilness, wickedness, immorality, pornography. Proof, read on.
To work all uncleanness with greediness.
We must leave with great substance, reformed character. We must be given a new character, renewed in the spirit of our minds. Because walking after the white Gentiles, we have learned from him how to work all uncleanness. We unclean too, we eat guts. See, I heard some of you a few minutes ago say, "Oh," when you say the devil's eating the dog in his guts. "Oh." And you turn right around and eat shitlins. How many used to eat shitlins? You had a nice bowl of shitlins, plate. Hot sauce, shitlins and hot sauce, shitlins and cornbread, shitlins and greens, shitlins and yams. Just an old shitlin eater. Little shitlins. How many ever bit down on a little grit every now and then? You know what that was in those shitlins? You now know what you were eating now, don't you? You thought, a little grit, yeah. You thought that was a piece of the corn. That's why you like cornbread with it, so you couldn't tell the difference between that grit. We were walking after the Gentile. Going out to a restaurant, paying $50 for a bowl of snails. Call them escargot. Escargot. Following after the devil. Yahweh said, don't touch or eat the creeping thing. We eat everything, cunt. We love cunt down here, don't we? You gonna tell me we don't need reformed character? Work all uncleanness. We've learned to work all uncleanness because the white man was our God. He was our standard. We took the white man as our standard of excellence. So whatever they did, I've heard black people do things wrong and say, well, the white man does it. Say, man, don't you know that's wrong? Hey, white people do it all the time. How many ever heard our people say that? Hey, man, white people do it all the time. What's wrong with you? Who was our God? And Yahweh said they have their understanding darkened. Ignorance is in them. White people walk in the vanity of their own mind. White people are alienated, separated, not a part of the kingdom of Yahweh. They've taken Yahweh's chosen people and have reduced us so low that we work all uncleanness right along with him. Read on.
But ye have not so learned Christ, Yahweh ben Yahweh.
Now you must learn Yahweh. To come out with great substance, you must give up what you learned from the Gentile and learn who? Yahweh. Yahweh. Read on.
If so be that ye have heard him and have been taught by him.
By him? Hey, you can't be taught by a man that's been dead 2,000 years. So he must be here now for us to be taught because we're in this condition. So now if you're being taught by him, then he must be alive with you to be taught by him. But it says we must be taught and be taught by him to come out with great substance. Read on.
as the truth is in Yahweh, then Yahweh.
Not in the Gentile, but in the servant of Yahweh. The truth is in the servant of Yahweh. He will not teach you a lie. Teach you truth. How many admit that I teach you all truth? Praise Yahweh. Read on.
That ye put off the former conversation.
Whose conversation have we always had? White folks' conversation. Yahweh say we must do what with the white Gentiles' conversation? Put it away from us. That's how we come out with great substance. Put it away from us. Then we'll come out with this great character my brother's describing in the dictionary. Read on.
The old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lusts, and be renewed in the spirit of your mind.
Praise Yahweh. Thank you, son. That substance goes on. You study some of that. We are rich. We're coming out with great substance. How many see now that substance has to do with more than gold and silver? I think we're really getting a beneficial lesson. No one else has taught us like this since we've been in America. We cannot go find a book with this teaching in it, what we have learned today already. You cannot go find it in any book. We are rich. All Hebrew Israelites, all servants of Yahweh were always rich. All servants of Yahweh have always been rich. You want to be rich? Come and serve Yahweh.
Greetings, royal family. Let's talk about the most prestigious private university in the universe, the University of Yahweh. It is here where students, parents, adults, and teachers study the divine mind of Yahweh, Ben Yahweh, thus elevating them to contemplate and understand the loftier concepts and principles, enabling their minds to focus and think on an extraterrestrial level. This intellectual ability and unique set of skills supersede all base, mundane, and terrestrial thinking, thus allowing one's minds to open up and flourish with an overwhelming abundance of creative ideas and loftier concepts, making life and living more enjoyable. The University of Yahweh is woven deep within the fabric of the moral principles of truth, honesty, integrity, true holiness, righteousness, ethics, and justice for all. The University of Yahweh is designed for the Godhead, and this includes students, parents, adults, and the Godhead. In the University of Yahweh, the online platform, you gain a structured format to the approach of the divine mind of Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh Yahweh. We welcome you to visit our website at www.universityofyahweh.org. This platform is specifically designed for the Godhead and the Godhead family. The 144,000 chosen to rule in righteousness. We look forward to working with you as we prepare for rulership in righteousness. Praise Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh. Praise Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh. Beit Nun Sophie Yud-Heh-Wav-Heh. Shalom, royal family.